Have you ever wondered what happens when countries take their disputes to the global stage? Today, we delve into the recent case filed by South Africa against Israel at the International Court of Justice, ICJ. This case, a significant development in international law, revolves around South Africa's accusations against Israel of alleged genocide in their military campaign on Gaza. The application is rooted in the supposed violations of the Genocide Convention, with South Africa arguing that Israel's actions and omissions are genocidal in character, with the specific intent to destroy Palestinians in Gaza. However, Israel has vehemently rejected these accusations, labeling them as a blood libel. Now, as the world watches with bated breath, the ICJ is set to assess the strength of South Africa's case. But what outcome can we expect? And what implications might this have on international relations? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this unfolding story. The ICJ is no ordinary court. It is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations, dealing with disputes between states. Its purpose isn't to adjudicate criminal responsibility, but rather to resolve conflicts under international treaties and border disputes. In this instance, the bone of contention is the Genocide Convention, a treaty both Israel and South Africa have ratified. The court proceedings at the ICJ unfold in stages. Initially, we're at the provisional measures stage. This is where South Africa is urging the court to issue immediate instructions to Israel, including a ceasefire, citing the urgency of the situation in Gaza. The court will assess the strength of South Africa's argument, and if deemed strong enough, these provisional measures could be issued. However, it's important to remember that while these orders are legally binding, the ICJ does not have the power to enforce them. This lack of enforcement power is a significant aspect of the ICJ's operation. Despite the authority to issue binding orders, the court does not have an enforcement mechanism of its own. Instead, it relies on the United Nations Security Council to enforce its rulings. However, the veto power held by permanent members of the Security Council, like the United States and Russia, can make enforcement a challenging task. If the case progresses beyond the provisional measures stage, it could potentially move to a full trial. This would be a thorough examination of the facts, a meticulous process that could take years to complete. The objective would be to determine whether Israel has committed genocide, a serious violation of international law. This would be a significant development, as the ICJ has never held a country responsible for genocide. The case is shaping up to be a complex and lengthy legal battle. As the proceedings continue, they will undoubtedly capture the attention of the world as they delve into questions of genocide, international law, and the rights and responsibilities of nations. As the ICJ hears the case, the world reacts. But what does this mean for the involved parties and the international community? Around the globe, reactions to the case are as varied as they are intense. Demonstrations have sprung up in cities worldwide, with protesters voicing their support for both sides. In The Hague, where the ICJ is located, Dutch police have been tasked with maintaining order during rival demonstrations. Pro-Israel protesters march with signs and chants, while Palestinian supporters call for an end to what they describe as Israeli apartheid. But the implications of this case reach far beyond the streets and into the halls of power. For Israel, an unfavorable decision could tarnish its international standing and potentially lead to sanctions or other punitive measures. On the other hand, a ruling in Israel's favor could serve to vindicate their actions, reinforcing their stance that they are at war with Hamas, not the people of Gaza. For South Africa, bringing this case to the ICJ signifies a strong stance against what they believe to be acts of genocide. A successful outcome could bolster their international reputation as a champion of human rights. However, a loss might be seen as a misguided attempt to police international affairs. The international community also has much at stake. This case could set a significant precedent, as the ICJ has never held a country responsible for genocide. In 2007, it ruled that Serbia failed to prevent genocide in the Srebrenica massacre. As such, the outcome could redefine the understanding and application of the Genocide Convention, affecting how international law addresses such issues in the future. The UN Security Council, with its power to enforce ICJ orders, may find itself in a difficult position. with veto power held by influential countries like the US and Russia. Enforcing any potential orders could become a contentious issue. As the world continues to watch this landmark case, the outcomes could have far-reaching implications for international law and the understanding of genocide. The world waits with bated breath as the wheels of justice slowly turn towards a decision that could reshape our world.